What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're here to talk about a brand new batch of level limit breaks making their appearance into the game. And level limit breaks are always exciting because we get some upgrades of some older characters that desperately need it. So I'm very excited to jump into this one today. I actually haven't had a really good look at any of these characters, except for maybe one of them. One of them I did take a pretty good look at because people were messaging me about some of the upgrades that this character received, but overall this is going to be pretty much a raw reaction for these level limit breaks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first character that we're going to talk about is version 1 Legend Brook. Now this is definitely one of the characters I dislike the most in the game. I'm not a big fan of this unit. I like the gimmick of self-reviving in content, but personally I've never been a big fan of this unit at all. So let's see what he receives. So it says his captain ability recovers from game over once per quest, 4 times attack when you're above 80% health, 3.25 otherwise, strength quick matching, 10% health done to all enemies at the end of the turn. Like, it's pretty much what we know to see from Brook. I mean, I don't remember exactly if the multiplier was like that before, where you get the big multiplier if you're above 80%. I believe initially when he first came out, you had to be exactly at full HP to get the big buff. So I like that there is, you know, a bit more of a window, a little bit more of a boundary that you can kind of sit in to reach those higher multipliers, but he's still a 4 times captain at the end of the day. Does this guy actually receive a buffed captain through the level limit break plus system? He does. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look and see what this guy actually does. So once again, he recovers once per quest, reduces special charge time by 1 turn, the typical thing they always do to buff these units, which is, it's a good thing either way. 4.25 times attack when you're 80% or above, 3.5 times otherwise. Makes the crew's strength, quick, and recovery and tandem slots have matching slot effects, so that's a bit of a change there. And reduces all enemies' HP by 10% at the end of every single turn. So the buffs that he receives from the limit break expansion are not that great. Just very slightly higher numbers and -1 cooldown. So definitely not worth the limit break expansion in my opinion. And then the special ability, which is quite extensive. 1.2 chain boost for 2 turns, which is very good. That's actually a big upgrade. It also boost damage dealt to delayed enemies by 2.25 for 2 turns. He did not do that before, so that's a nice change too. Heals the crew by 14,000 HP, heals by 4,300 at the end of every turn for 3 turns, reduces damage taken by 90% for 1 turn, changes block slots into matching, changes or makes the type slots have matching slot effects for 2 turns, and if the HP of the enemy with the highest max HP is above 434,000, you get a 20% health cut and a delay for 1 turn. Otherwise, it will defeat them if they are below that threshold. So that ending part is pretty much the same. But I like the fact that he has a self-delayed conditional boost now with a chain boost, orb change, healing effects, damage reduction. Special ability on this guy is actually very good. Would I go out of my way to try and get dupes to level him up? No way. But I mean, hey, if you end up getting him to level limit break 5, this is a very viable special that you can use in content. I know this guy is one of the best units to use against Arena Luffy. I know in Showcase is definitely a unit that I use a lot. And in Rumble as well, this guy's very good if you're building a DEX team in Grand Party. So his Rumble stuff gives level 6 HP to the crew, and then when his health is below 70%, you get Dex, Defense level 5, and Attack level 5. That's a very good Rumble ability. Very solid. And then the special ability that does a large range 3000 heal, defense up level 5 for 30 seconds. It's a very long-lasting defense buff. And then targets driven enemies for speed level 5 down, defense down level 5. It's pretty good. Like, honestly, I think Brook is really solid, and I think he is going to see extended usage once again in DEX teams in Grand Party. Like, if you're going up against opposing DEX squads, you can build your own DEX team that is more healing and health cut focused to get around your opposing DEX squads. So overall, he's a solid upgrade, but he's just not really going to see that much play, unfortunately. The next character on the list is Legend Jack, definitely a fan favorite, especially when he first came out, being one of the biggest EXP boosting captains up until, of course, when we got the introduction of version 3 Marco. But Legend Jack, let's go ahead and break him down. I actually don't have him completely maxed out yet. So his captain is -1 cooldown, 4.5 attack, 1.5 health, strength and tandem slots are matching, doubles pirate EXP. Look, it's not a great captain still, it's pretty mid. Yeah, sure, if you want to farm EXP, you can definitely still use him, but honestly speaking, if you're looking to use him to beat difficult content, you can definitely do it. I mean, but it's not a great captain, I'll admit. Potentially gets a buffed version with his limit break, so let's go ahead and check that one out real quick. He does get a buffed captain, so you get -2 cooldown at the start. That with a speed farming captain, with an EXP captain, is actually very good. Boosting cruise attack by 5 times, 1.5 HP, strength tandem slots are matching, so overall looking like pretty good buffs actually. And then doubles pirate EXP. Is there any utility effect in his captain, I wonder? I would love to see some effect there. I have to wait and see. No, he doesn't get any utility. So you get -2 cooldown, 5 times attack, and that's it. Yeah. Look, I guess if you use Jack a lot, potentially you can limit break expand him. I just don't think he's overly worth it. Let's have a look at the special though. 25% health cut that goes through defensive effects, changes left slots including block into tandem, changes right slots including block into strength. Yo, this is going to be very good with hybrid Kaido. I like it a lot. And then you get, oh wow, you get a chain boundary. So that's pretty cool. I believe before he was a chain lock, and now they're like, okay, let's change the chain lock into a chain boundary. Yet they didn't do it for Shank's crew, so that's kind of funny. Either way, 3.0 to 10.0. Yeah, this guy's going to be very good with hybrid Kaido. I like it a lot. And extends the duration of those additional effects of damage reduction, cut damage over a certain amount, additional damage end of turn, healing end of turn. Yeah, this is a pretty good special, actually. This is a good special, and I can definitely see him being used. That's another thing. This guy's actually very good in Rumble, so let's see if he got any good Rumble buffs. HP 7, and for the first 40 seconds, your team gets a level 4 defense. That's not that big of a difference. 22 second CT, defense level 5 for 25 seconds, 17% health cut, and then a 33% health cut in the first 40 seconds. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, this guy's still going to see solid usage in Rumble for sure. Like, not a bad unit. I don't know. There's not a lot here that I really like that much because, like, I don't really use this character that much. But I think the changes with his special definitely open the doors for him to be used a lot more for hybrid Kaido teams for sure. Now, the next one on the list is a character that a lot of people really wanted to see receive a level limit break, and that is Legend Carrot. So let's go ahead and break down what she received. So her captain is -2 cooldown at the start of the quest. Then for the first 12 turns, you get her captain ability of being able to allow your normal attacks to bypass defensive effects. It's a very useful component of this unit. And then also gives a 4.75 times attack boost to fighter slasher shooter striker cerebral, and then greatly boosts the chances of landing on a matching slot. But then if you become the captain during the middle of the quest, you get a 5.25 times captain instead. So big numbers for sure. But then after 12 turns, you lose the ability to allow your normal attacks to go through enemy defensive effects. So, like, she didn't really receive that much. Does this unit actually get a buffed captain in her level limit break or her limit break expansion? Wow, she doesn't. I gotta say, that's actually a pretty disappointing captain. Like, they just really buffed her numbers. That's basically all they did. They didn't really add any new components here, unless if I've missed something drastically, but this is honestly a pretty disappointing captain. Hopefully the special's a little bit better. So the special is setting defense to 0. That is definitely new. I like that. That's a good change. Boosting the slot effects of the same classes by 2.5 for 2 turns. I don't remember if the orb boost was for 2 turns, but either way, that's nice. And then reduces their cooldown by 2, make quick recovery 10 matching, and if this character is a crewmate, swap it out for 3 turns. Like, honestly, like, yeah, this unit is just better, but I don't think these changes are ultimately going to make Carrot more used in more content. I would have loved if they added an additional utility component in her special, in her captain. Potentially resisting special reverse in her captain would have been kind of interesting, or resisting special bind, or just doing another effect like that. Like maybe on stage 2 or stage 3, you get the ability to minus cooldown for the crew, kind of similar to what they did with Carrot Wanda, and also with Dog and Cat 6+. Like something like that would have been cool, but they just didn't do it. So ultimately, I think this is a pretty boring unit overall. This unit doesn't really see that much play in PvP because like it doesn't really help you that much. 32 CT for some large frontal fixed damage and then some CT reduction, like it's fine, but it's not the end all be all. And I do think that this is actually a pretty underwhelming level limit break, to be honest. So this is definitely one of the characters I was most looking forward to receiving a level limit break, and that is Lucy, otherwise known as Sabo with his 6+. So let's break this guy down. So his captain ability, if you have a strength, dex, and quick character on the crew, reduce cooldown by 1, then boosting the attack of strength, dex, quick by 4x, 1.3 health, strength, dex, quick matching, and if you do not have any psi or int characters on the crew, you boost the character's attack by 1.3 in addition to the 4 times multiplier. So I'm going to pull up the calculator here just to get the calculation exactly. So it's a 4 times multiplier. If you don't have any psi or int characters, you get the 1.3, resulting in a 5.2 times multiplier. And this is a flat multiplier, by the way, so that's ridiculously good. 5.2 attack, -1 cooldown, strength, dex, quick matching, and that's for 3 different colors, right? This is a good captain. It's honestly very good. Does this guy get a buffed cap? He definitely does in the limit break. So let's go ahead and check out his expanded captain. So if you have a strength, dex, and quick character on the crew, you will get -1 initially, but now it's going to be -2. Yes, -2 cooldown at the start of the quest. So even more of a pseudo speed farming type of captain. Boosting strength, dex, quick by 4x, 1.3 health. So that's actually the same. Makes strength, dex, quick matching. Okay, so maybe the multiplier is bigger on the other end. If no psi or int characters are on the crew, then it was initially a 1.3 boost. Then this time it's a 1.35 times attack boost in addition to the 4 times, and reduces the crew's special reverse by 2 turns. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Reducing special reverse by 2 turns. I kind of dig that, actually. So we already stated that the captain ability was very solid, and now they've just added an additional effect of resisting special reverse, an additional turn of cooldown. That's really good. And it becomes a 1.35 additional, so it's a 4 times 1.35, resulting in a 5.4 times attack boost that is constant throughout the quest. Ridiculously good. Really high damage numbers there. Let's have a look at this special, though. Let's see what his special does. So it's going to reduce cooldown by 1 for the crew. That's actually pretty good. Reducing the crew's paralysis by 6 turns. Locks the crew's slots for 1 turn. I like that change. Boosting strength, dex, quick by 2.25 for 1 turn, and if you land 3 perfects, you get a 2.5 times attack boost in the following turn. So they didn't really change too much. The only real change is the numbers are slightly bigger, I think, and 6 turns of paralysis reduction in the special. So I think Lucy's actually kind of good. I mean, especially as a sub, he can resist special reverse. He's still got, you know, minusing cooldown. You've got reducing paralysis now, and yeah, I think Lucy's pretty good. He's in a good, solid position. Now, what I did here is apparently Sabo, like the original Lucy, the strength version, also received the buffs. So I guess we can have a brief look and see what he's got changed here as well. So it looks like it's gonna be pretty much the same, but it's just basically a strength version of the unit. The special is likely the same too. So -1 cooldown, boost strength, dex, quick characters attack by 1.75, boost the chain multiplier by 0.9 for 5 turns. Yeah, that's interesting. Then if you land 3 perfects, you get a 2.25 in the next turn. Then if you land 3 perfects, yo, dude, I actually kind of like this better. That's so cool. It's very similar to, you know, like Anniversary Luffy, where Anniversary Luffy allows you to do the perfect buff over 2 separate stages to essentially get 3 turns of buffs. And this guy does the same kind of thing. That's really cool. It does require you to land 3 perfects on each hit, on each turn, which is a bit of a drawback considering Anniversary Luffy is, you only need to hit 2 perfects with his buffs. But I think this is really cool. I like that they've distinguished these 2 units so drastically. So you've got this Sabo, or Lucy should we say, that can basically allow you to get 3 turns of buffs, but then you've got the normal quick version of Lucy, which is more focused on getting damage over 2 separate turns. So I dig it. I like what they've done with Lucy, actually pretty good. So the last one that we're talking about in this video is V2 Doflamingo. This character was actually one of the super evolutions that arrived right before the introduction of level limit break. So, you know, while he did get a pretty decent super evolution at the time, he just missed out on receiving a level limit break when all of them were coming out. But now they've gone back and given him that level limit break. So let's talk about it. So Doflamingo, with his captain ability now, he's going to give driven characters 1.4 HP, boosting their attack by 5x with a matching slot, 4.75 otherwise. Dex and quick are matching, drastically reduce the chances of landing on the strength slot. This captain ability's barely changed, they've just given him bigger numbers. I assume he gets the buffed captain through the expansion. He does, okay. So let's see, hopefully they've done something a bit better here. So -1 cooldown, you know, pretty typical stuff, we love to see it. Boosting driven characters' attack, so no, that's HP first, 1.4. Boosting their attack by 5.25 with a matching slot, so just bigger numbers of course. 5 times otherwise is nice, making Dex and quick slots have matching slot effects, and then drastically reduce the chances of landing on a strength slot, so I'm really hoping for a piece of utility here. Hopefully they have. And then reduces the crew's despair duration by 5 turns. Oh, that's a pretty big buff. Considering you had Lucy with his captain, he was removing special reverse by 2 turns, and now this guy's just got a 5-turn utility captain. I like that, and you gotta remember though that Lucy's boosting 3 separate colors. This guy's only boosting 1 class, so this guy is definitely more restricted. You know, when you just compare the 2 units in terms of their captain. So when you really break down the captain, big numbers, big HP, matching slots, and removing 5 turns of despair, actually pretty solid. So you remove 8 turns of despair naturally just with sockets and 1 captain of this. So this is going to be a good hybrid option moving forward into the future if you're opting to build driven focused teams. I like it. Let's have a look at the special though. So the special is going to deal 2.5 times the amount of damage of overkill, which is what we've seen before with Doflamingo. If the captain is driven, reduces all enemies' damage reduction and defense up by 6 turns. Yo, what a special. That is so good. 6-turn removal of 2 key defensive abilities is ridiculously good. If the crew has normal attacks only, boost driven characters attack by 2.5 and makes Psi and int slots beneficial to the crew for 1 turn. Good special. Good captain, good special. Just everything is good here. And of course, this is a very key unit in Rumble. This guy is so annoying to deal with, and now he's going to be even more annoying with level limit break. So, in Rumble, he's going to give driven teammates level 6 attack, Dex teammates get a speed 6 and defense 6. Very annoying. And free spirit class enemies defense down level 5. Because why not? Right? Like, Doflamingo was already very good in Rumble, and now they've given him an additional effect that can make him wave clear even easier against free spirit opponents. This guy's going to be so good. He's going to be really, really nice in Rumble. 28 CT, and it looks to be pretty much the same. Actually, I want to pull up exactly. I do have the database up right here, so I will actually see if the multipliers are the same. So prior to this, yeah, this is actually a lot different. So the first hit, which says 2.2 times damage, that is upped from 2 times. The second hit was only a 1 times damage. Actually, all 3 of these hits were only... Wait, that's actually... He actually gets an additional hit, I think. No, there's 4 hits of damage. Yeah, so it starts at 2.2, and then you got 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Previous to this, all of these were just 1 times attack. So... they've got a better Rumble ability that allows you to wave clear easier, and his special does more damage. Because why not? Doflamingo is going to be a very good unit in Rumble for sure, but I think that with these changes, he actually might see some play in normal content as well. I think they've done a fantastic job with V2 Doflamingo. Definitely an imposing character in One Piece Treasure Cruise. So with all of that, that is the breakdown of the new batch of the level limit breaks in One Piece Treasure Cruise heading into the month of April. So I'm pretty impressed with the changes of Lucy and Doflamingo. Love those. But unfortunately, I am a little bit perplexed as to what they decided to do with Carrot and version 1 Brook. those units are not really a big fan of, and Legend Jack's changes could actually make him see a bit more play, especially in tandem with Hybrid Kaido. I think he has a lot of room to grow and a lot more usage in content for sure, with a chain boundary and a slot manipulation special. I think they actually could see a bit of play, but definitely big ups on the Lucy and Dofi, big fans of those units. That is going to wrap it up for me though. Let me know down below in the comment section which of these level limit breaks are you most excited to get your hands on. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.